guys, how are you all? I hope you and your families are doing completely fine. I'm good here too, and let's start the video. Today we are going to continue the chapter we started the last time, that is chemical reactions and equations. Particularly, we are going to learn how to balance reactions. You must be wondering, what do I mean when I say balancing chemical reactions? Well, see this reaction that we discussed in the last video. As you can see here, there are two oxygen atoms in the reactant side, but only one at the product side. Is this representation correct? Well, it's partially not. As we know, the law of conservation of mass states that the number of atoms at the reactant side should be equal to the number of atoms at the product side. As no new atom gets produced during a chemical reaction, neither any gets destroyed. So what about this one? How many magnesium atoms are there in the reactant side? 2. At the product? 2. How many oxygen are there at the reactant side? 2. At the product side? 2. So this reaction, this representation of the same reaction is far more correct than the last one. So what I did here, I just balanced the reaction. Yeah, this is called balancing. The process to make the number of atoms at the reactant side and at the product side equal is known as balancing. So on the basis of what we studied, we can say those equations which are balanced and those which are not are unbalanced, or sometimes we call them skeletal equations. So let's take a very simple chemical equation, which is aluminium combines with oxygen to produce its oxide, which is Al2O3. So here, as you can see, in the reactant side there aluminium is just 1, but at the product side it is 2, while oxygen here is 2 and here 3. So what we're gonna do, we just have to think what should we multiply aluminium or oxygen or aluminium oxide to make this equation balanced. So I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna multiply this with 2. Okay, so this is gonna make our aluminium 4 at the product side, and the oxygen 6. So to make the oxygen 6 both sides, I gotta multiply it with 3. It becomes 6 here, and aluminium I gotta multiply it with 4. So see now, aluminium here is 4, at the product side it's also 4, and oxygen here is 6, and here it's also 6. When I'm writing 2 over here, that means this 2 is getting multiplied with both of them. Yeah, so 2 3s are 6, so oxygen is 6 over here too. So this equation has been successfully balanced. So now we're gonna balance the chemical equation of photosynthesis. So we already know in photosynthesis, carbon dioxide reacts with water to produce glucose, which is C6H12O6, and oxygen gas is released in this reaction. So we can clearly see here carbon is 6, but here it is only 1. So to make it 6, we got to multiply it with 6. Done. Next is hydrogen. Here hydrogen is 12, but here it is 2 only. So to make it 12, we got to multiply it with 6. Now let's check the oxygen. Here oxygen is 6 2s are 12 and 6 1s are 6, which means oxygen is 18 over here. And here it is only 6 plus 2, which is 8. So in order to make it 18, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna multiply it with, what should I multiply it with? I should multiply it with 6. So if I multiply it with 6, see, this becomes 6 2s are 12, and this is already 6, so this becomes 18. So all the atoms are balanced here, so we can say this equation has been balanced. Let's take something difficult this time. So the equation goes like ferric sulfate combines with potassium hydroxide to give potassium sulfate and ferric hydroxide. Does this seem difficult? Well, it really is not. As we'll do it step by step, it will seem way more easier. See, Fe here is 2, but here it is only 1. So we have to multiply it with 2 to make them equal, right? Let's move on to next. let's do sulfate. Here I'm not taking sulfate as sulfur and oxygen separately, rather I'm choosing them to be a single entity. So sulfate here is 3 and here it is only 1, so we have to multiply this whole with 3 to make them equal, right? So now let's move on to potassium. Potassium here has become 6, but here it is only 1. So we have to multiply it with 6. Potassium has been balanced too. Now let's check hydroxide. Hydroxide OH. OH here is 6 and here it is also 6 here. So this equation has been successfully balanced. I hope you understood the concept well. And if you'd ask me if there's any shortcut way to solve all these problems, then I'd say there really is not. You just have to solve as many problems as you can. The more questions you'd solve, the better understanding you'd develop about these questions. For practice, do these questions, and if any doubt comes, just DM me on Instagram or just comment down below. I'll try my best to make you understand that. And shout out to Kiara Sharma. Kiara, thanks a lot for such a lovely comment. I really had a huge laugh reading it. So I guess it's all for now. Let's meet in the next video. Till then, love you all. Take care and goodbye.